Welcome everybody. Welcome to the Info Day 4. So Aris will be the first presenter. Aris, please feel free to
Thank you.
start when you are ready.
Yes, thank you, David. Thank you everyone for joining this webinar. And thank you for your interest in our open call, our second open call in SPADE project, which is all about drones in agriculture and forestry. So I will start with my first presentation will be about the universal challenge that we are addressing. The third challenge from our universal challenges set. It's about aerial image processing service. So what we expect, what is the scope for this challenge? First of all, we want you to develop and deploy an open source AWS based system that is going to be capable of processing photogrammetry data from drones and exporting the orthomosaics in different resolutions based on what preferences the user has. So this is the main scope of this challenge. So the budget for this is 60,000 euros, and the duration is 6 months, as with all our sub projects in this open call. So about the implementation, first of all, just a big note: the system should support multiple data outputs, and it should be able to connect with management information systems. So the solution should include APIs so that we can upload images and process the images and download the data. Also, it should include tools for processing photogrammetry and coming from drones in an efficient way. Also, of course, it will need to be able to generate orthomosaics to be of high quality and at different resolutions based on what the user needs. So what images we would want you to be able to process in this with this development is RGB, thermal, and multispectral, and preferably also, if it's possible, for hyperspectral. That would be a really good addition. So the system should have radiometric calibration capabilities and also geometric correction. So we want the system to be able to provide the ability to the user to add ground control points and correct georeference image correctly. Also, to be able to go, the system should be able to connect with third-party microservices. That's for storage of the data and further analysis. The interface, we want it to be user-friendly, of course, so that the users can navigate and manage the data and customize the resolution and everything in an efficient way. We want the system to be scalable, to be able to handle large data sets online, and of course, we need you to pay attention a lot in the security aspects, so that the system is secure for storing and handling the data. And we also need an admin panel, so that some developers or users with administrative clearance to be able to control the system efficiently and monitor all its developments. And finally, just a big note: the service will be hosted on an online web service that will be provided by SPADE. Now, about the progress, the deliverables and milestones of the project. In month one, in general, we will expect from you to provide the initial report. So in that report, you need to refer all the planned the methodologies, the timelines, KPIs, requirements. So it's not a big work for this first month, for this deliverable, for this report. We just need the plan, how you're going to implement the project. Of course, just a big note here: the implementation should be made according to the needs of the challenge. So in your proposal, of course, you may propose whatever you like, but even if your project is successful and it's accepted, what we evaluate for your project is your capacitance to run these projects and perform well running these projects. So what you are required to implement is what the challenge requires. Just to make it clear for you. Then we move to 1.3. There we have the interim report. In that report, you will need to describe the progress, the challenges, all the timelines, and the deviations, and the risk management, of course. And then we expect to have the first prototype of the software. So the initial version, which should have by then the ability to export files in various formats, to have an initial ability to generate orthomosaics. The AWS infrastructure should be set up by then in connection with a management system. And it should be able to upload images. So the API should be already prepared for the image uploads and support the calibration. So, but this would be the initial stage. So keep in mind that the payment will be made in two bunches. So the first payment will be made after the first half of the project. So after we receive your interim report, and if everything goes well, and your report gets accepted, then in month 4 you will receive half of the payment. So if not all the implementations are implemented as expected, and there is some more things that need to be made, so the payment will be a bit less, and then you will receive the rest once you fulfill all your requirements. Now, in month 6, you will have the final report. In that final report, you will... Βασίλη, πρέπει να κλείσεις το μικρόφωνο. In that final report, you need to describe all the developments, of course, all the fulfillment of all the KPIs, and the complete documentation of the development. So for that, we need the full software version, of course, that meets all the requirements. And you need to deliver the code base. It should be open source, and you need to provide all the manuals and all documentations, thoroughly documented everything there, and the maintenance guidelines and so on. And about the criteria, of course, as I mentioned, you need to have all for the completion of the project. All the KPIs need to be implemented successfully. All deliverables should be accepted, and of course, the tool should be developed according to the requirements and fully be working as expected. So the system should be fully deployed, and it will be evaluated by the SPADE experts. So upon completion, then you will receive the full payment in the end. And about the open source, so one big requirement that we have is that all the development should be open source. So you need to start developing on SPADE research labs. So we initiate a place on GitLab infrastructure for SPADE projects. That is hosted on Eclipse Foundation web platform. So you will need to load there from day one all the code that we are developing, so that our experts can check the code real time and provide advice if needed and support you in your developments. So keep in mind, you can use ready databases in your developments. However, we accept only code that is under permissive open source licenses like MIT, Apache, BSD, CC BY, etc. We do not accept strong copyleft licenses like GPL, for example. You can only use GPL only for developments that are optional in your system. So in that case, we can also have GPL license, but only not for the core development of your code. And with that, I conclude my presentation, and I think we can move to questions. Also, if you have any questions, you can contact us through the OpenCall platform, through the project website, and via the email. So you can send your questions in the future. If you have any questions now, please let us know. We can reply to any of these in the better way we can.
I don't think there are any questions, but let's wait. Aris, 1 minute maybe. The applicants need to type there, so. I think one of the attendees raised their hands, but I don't think you have rights to use the microphone. So for that reason, we have the Q&A section,
Yes.
like you to input in writing your question there, and we try to we'll do our best to answer properly as possible. So you have actually to insert the question in writing. And of course, we have one. Aris, I will read the question for you. If we are able to develop such tool, will the intellectual property right of the tool be with my institute or with the SPADE?
Okay, so the copyright belongs to you, to the developers. However, since it's open source and it's permissive license, keep in mind that this open source and this license allows anyone that needs to use it, even for business purposes, to use it freely and build upon that code. But the copyright is on your institute, so it's going to be your code. However, it's going to be open. Of course, then in the future you can build on your code and add some other licenses that are more restrictive and make it a product and so on.
Thank you, Aris. We don't have any other questions yet, but I don't know. Maybe if you want to jump to the next presentation, and after that, maybe the attendees. Oh, we have another question. So, for making machine learning model project, do you provide data? I mean,
So this challenge is not about machine learning. It's about stitching images. So it's maybe this refers to another challenge or not?
I think so, yeah, for the machine learning model projects.
Because the next presentation is going to be about machine learning for disease detection in
All right,
crops.
so
Maybe
let's treat
this
that
addresses
question.
that.
All right, let's treat that question in the next presentation. I started. All right, yes. So I think we have another question for you, Aris. A few minutes, so maybe it was discussed. This discussion for the livestock case you study? No.
No.
So my
The
answer to
livestock
that,
is going to be the last presentation.
yes. So bear with us a little bit. In the end of this meeting, we will have the livestock case study. So another question for you, is there specific requirements of programming language for web development?
Not as far as we have discussed with our technical staff, but Vasilis is here with us. Maybe Vasilis, you can jump in if.
There is no specific requirement for the programming language that they could use, but we prompt them to use only state-of-the-art frameworks and languages.
Thank you, Vasilis. Another question is for another applicant. Do we have to work with two cultures?
I think this relates also with
Yes,
the one of machine learning detection. So maybe we'll talk about that after.
All right, all right. So, okay, let's jump to the other presentation and we'll answer these questions during that presentation.
So I will stop sharing my screen and then we can move to the next.
Yes.
So Pierrick, are you going to present?
It's going to be Victor, my colleague. So Victor, yeah, you can share your screen and your presentation
Okay,
and start.
great.
Okay.
Like, dear applicants, like you to know, you can input your question already that you have in your mind, and we'll try to answer to them on the progress on our meeting. So put there as many questions that you can. All right, so we see your screen.
You are muted, Victor.
Okay. Hello, everyone.
Hello.
My name is Victor Barrentos from Any Solution, and today I will present the technical overview of this topic. We focus on Mediterranean crops, which are key to the agriculture, economy, and biodiversity of our region. We leverage drone-based technology to collect high-resolution data efficiently and precisely. This allows us to monitor crop health, detect issues early, and optimize resource use. All of this supports our broader missions of promoting sustainability and driving digital transformation in agriculture. Also, helping farmers make smarter, more eco-friendly decisions. The objective of this challenge is to apply machine learning to detect plant diseases in 3 key crops: olive trees, citrus, and potatoes. Drones will capture both RGB and multispectral images. Based on this data, we need to develop ML models to identify disease presence, and support farmers with early detection tools. And
Victor, sorry for disturbing you. One of the participants asked us like you to speak louder if you can.
Oh, yes.
All right, thank you very much. Sorry for that.
My micro
Let's continue.
near of
Yes.
better?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you, and sorry.
worries.
But this challenge has 5 key technical goals. First, we must develop machine learning algorithms that can process both orthomosaics and raw RGB or multispectral drone images. Second, these models must detect very specific foliar diseases, alternaria in potatoes and repilo in olive trees. Third, the results must be presented as heat maps so that end users can easily understand which parts of the field are affected and how severely. Fourth, the solution must work both as a standalone application for Linux and Windows and be integrated with the SPADE infrastructure. And finally, this tool must help improve early detection and disease management in agriculture, making drone and ML technologies accessible to farmers. The technical solution must include machine learning algorithms like CNNs, decision trees, or random forest. The input will be orthomosaics maps and raw drone images. The output should be a heat map showing the location and severity of detected diseases, helping users make fast and informed decisions. Techniques like supervised learning, gradient descent, and regulation are expected. The solution must run within the SPADE ML infrastructure using open source tools and a Dockerized setup. It also needs to work as a standalone application for Windows and Linux, and the system should accept inputs via an API or configuration file and come with full technical documentation. And here is a quick overview of the main technologies and tool we'll be using to build the solution, from the programming language to the frameworks for machine learning, image processing, and deployment. Each component has been chosen to ensure robustness and scalability. Any questions here? It's the most.
Yes, so if you want to treat these two questions, so for making machine learning model project, do you provide data?
If you want, Victor, I can answer this one. So, sorry. Yes, we are already doing some mapping of different fields and crops in the Balearic Island, which is where our pilot is based. And yes, you will have access to all the raw images and automosaic maps generated during the frame of the project. So you will have data, but you can also use your own data sets, and if you have a further source of data, you can use them as you want.
Thank you very much.
I can also
actually
Yeah.
to add here, it would be preferable to use other libraries as well in order to develop better, and train the models better, right? So
yes,
it
thank
would
you,
be added
Alex.
value. Yes.
And regarding the question on the cultures, yes, one of the aspects is you will need to work on two different type of cultures. As said by my colleagues, one is going to be the olive trees, and the other one is on the potato crops. Okay, so these are the two type of cultures that you will need to work on, and also as mentioned, we already have also identified the type of disease or plagues that you should detect. So just to this will be is detailed in the technical guide, but one is the fungus alternaria in potato crops, and the other one, it's a disease called repilo, which is on affect the olive trees. In English, sorry, it's what they call the early blind of the olive trees, olive leaves. Sorry, but once again, if you want to provide other suggestion for other type of pest and disease, it is also up to you to put it as added value.
Thank you very much, Pierre. So there are no other questions, so we can continue in the presentation now.
There is another follow-up question from Zarko
Yes.
Lukenovic.
So I think Pierre is also for you this question. One applicant is asking us if is there requirement for percentage of accuracy.
Well, it's true that we haven't specified it, but of course we want to have a functionable solution. So, and we know that it's difficult. So the exact percentage, I don't think we have stipulated it, but and we can maybe talk with Aris on that. But we need, at the end, what we need is a functional solution. We know that not all machine learning models are 100% accurate. So, of course, we will not ask you for fully accurate system, but it has to be within a decent range. So we can come back on you later on this, maybe, to give you a more precise information on that.
Thank you, Pierre. All right, so let me check if there is any other questions. No, so we can continue the presentation now.
Okay. Well, here is a quick overview of the workflow. Or our solution follows. First, the system The system receives input data, which includes orthomosaic maps and raw drones images. This can be uploaded via an API or by using a configuration file. Then we move into the pre-processing phase where we apply radiometric calibration and image alignment and basic cleaning to prepare the data for analysis. Next comes ML inference. This is where the training machine learning models detect potential diseases in the crops based on the processed images. Once the analysis is done, we generate visualizations in the form of heat maps showing both the location and severity of disease outbreaks. Finally, the output can be exported in standard formats such as JSON, CSV, or TIFF. The results can also be integrated into external systems through a REST API.
Yeah.
That's all. Thank you.
We have another question for you, Victor. For the collecting data challenge, is there minimum amount of data required?
Yeah, Rick. You are muted.
This question, David, please keep in mind it might also be for the next challenge, which is open field data collection annotation.
I think yes.
But for this
Okay, so let's keep
machine
it.
learning, for the machine learning, if it goes to the machine learning, they should have at least the data required to have decent training of the model in order to have good accuracy, to achieve good accuracy.
And also, let's keep this question active for the next presentation as well.
Mm-hmm.
So let's wait 1 minute more. Maybe the participants want to ask something and they need time to put their question, and after that we can continue with the next presentation. So please feel free to share your screen. I don't see any other questions. Anyhow, we'll treat them. If there are any other question, we'll treat them during your Q&A session. So you can start.
Okay. So can you see my presentation?
Yes, we see.
Okay, so this is about the second challenge of this case study for the crops. It's about open field data collection and annotation. So the scope for this is for you to acquire and structure open field crop datasets to be used for training cloud-based machine learning models tailored to at least two focused applications. So it's more, this challenge is more liberal. So you have the liberty to select, to propose, to suggest applications. In general, what we need is in all the images that you have in your datasets to have annotated not only the places of interest. Let's say if it's a disease, or not only the disease crops, but also some other elements in the images, like the grounds, weeds, obstacles, and so on. So the budget for this is 45,000 euros, and the duration is 6 months again. Some key points here. The contractor that has the successful proposal should secure access to several fields for data acquisition. So I suppose now this is a response to the question, David, that we received. I will let you know later on what are the requirements for the fields in terms of fields and areas to cover. Then you need to create and segment data sets of georeferenced aerial images acquired by UAVs. We suggest the use of RGB thermal multispectral or even hyperspectral cameras if possible. What is required here? The applicants should have extensive experience in labeling and annotating agricultural data, so that we are ensured that the quality of annotation is high. Concerning the implementation now, as I mentioned before, we want you to create high quality annotated data sets from images that are captured from your drones, from different fields. So of course the steps are: first, data collection, pre-processing of the images, annotation, structuring, and validation. Within the pre-processing, we also require some orthomosaics as well. So we would also like you to work with raw images and orthomosaics. I will explain that more in the next slides. And each dataset should include UAV aerial images, as I mentioned before, of the same crop at multiple growth stages, taken at different heights. That would depend, if it's a requirement, would depend on the specifications of the dataset. So for example, if the dataset has to do with disease detection, for example, we would need different images from different heights and at different growth stages, for example. So we want you to acquire 2 different open source datasets addressing different crops from different crop types. So you can select one from grapevines or orchards, and one crop from arable crops, let's say. All of them should be common in the Mediterranean regions. Some suggested issues of interest, for example, that you can address weed detection. So annotate the weeds in the images. Plant trees, if it's about crops, tree crops, plant trees, species identification, counting, tree canopy coverage and estimation, so the size of the canopy and so on. Field area segmentation, so that is something that we're very interested in, to annotate the borders of the fields. And objects identification, so any other objects that are in the field. Now the requirements. So we expect you to collect data from minimum of 40 fields. So let's say 20 arable crop and 20 orchards or vineyards. Each field should have a minimum size of 1 hectare. In the case that you cannot, it's difficult to find larger fields like more than 1 hectare, it is possible to collect more fields in order to accommodate, to fill in for the acres, for the hectares that you are missing. So to have more than 40 fields and then have a coverage of 40 hectares in total in your images. And about the hardware, you should be able to do the flights, so the drone and the equipment should be on your side. So you can use drones with RGB, thermal, multispectral, or hyperspectral sensor, depending on your proposal. And in terms of software, the annotation should be done using an open source software. We prefer the Liblim, but it's up. We can discuss on this. So about the deliverables and milestones, again, for the first month, we have the initial report, where you will have to report the plan methodologies, the timelines, KPIs, requirements, risk, and so on. So this is the initial deliverable in the first month. And then in month 3, we expect from you to provide us the interim report, where you will describe the progress, the challenges, what you have achieved until that point, and also just a requirement up to that point. We expect you to have approximately 50% of the total data should be collected, and a good proportion of that data should be already labeled and delivered for preliminary review. So this is for month 3. And of course, as I mentioned in my first presentation, after this interim report is accepted, then you will receive half of the funding on this month that is coming, on month 4. And then on month 6, you will need to submit the final report with all documentation, the full data set. So all the data sets should be made open source and thoroughly documented. So the data sets should be, all the images should be annotated and segmented, and that's what we expect in that report. And about the completion criteria, it's quite simple. So the project is complete when all the data are collected and annotated and reviewed internally from the SPADE partners, and get accepted from the consortium and the relevant partner. And all datasets, of course, should be open source and well documented. So that's it for this challenge. Again, I have here the information where you can place your questions, and we will have a Q&A where you will be able to read all the answers to your questions through our SPADE channels. And I don't know, David, if we have any questions
Yes,
now.
we don't have Aris, but let's wait. Also, we encourage the participants here to access the project website in order to see further information and to see something structured, and of course to read the guidelines as well. And we have one question here, Aris. Can we merge two projects, one with orthomosaic generation and this one to create an end-to-end pipeline? For example, I mean. So the question is, can we merge two projects? I think it's from different challenges.
So if they can have two challenges working, two projects in our
I
open
think
call?
so, because I don't understand very good. Yeah.
So if that's the case, then you can submit in different challenges within open call 2, but you cannot within all open calls in SPADE, but you cannot fund it by more than one
Right.
challenge. So you can only receive funding from only one challenge from SPADE open calls. If that's the question. Otherwise, if you can use data from other work that you have done, you can use it. But please keep in mind that all the data should be open source, open for anyone to use. So the idea is to develop databases that are open to anyone that want to run machine learning algorithms for any reason. So that's why we request you also to annotate other objects in the images, so that we have something that is can be used by more users.
Thank you, Aris. So let's wait 1 minute, and after that we give the floor to Costas. I think he's the next one who need to present. But let's wait, because I think there should be other questions, but let's wait. So we have another question, Aris. Are we allowed to develop any tools for field data collection, processing, and annotation? Like tools
Yes.
like web app or mobile app or something?
Yes, actually, that would be preferable for this challenge. And I would like to ask Vasilis here to add in the conversation.
Can you elaborate more on that question? What do you mean by tools?
They say like web app or mobile app.
To annotate the data just for annotation purposes?
Processing and annotation.
Can we think about that and come back to you later?
So of course, yes. We'll keep this question and
So the basic requirements for this challenge, that's why it's not full. So the basic requirements are to collect the data and annotate the data. So whatever you do further than that, it adds value to the proposal. But yes, we will get back later with once we have internal discussions.
so to the applicant that put this question, please use the mail contact there, and and also elaborate more your question, and we try to give you a proper answer as well. Okay, Ari, so I propose to jump to the other session, and if there are any other questions that applicants want to ask, they put it here, and we try to answer in the last part of the presentation, okay?
Yes, of course.
So I think now we'll be presenting Costas, the livestock case study, no? If I'm not wrong. Yes.
So, hello to everyone. Hope you can see me. I hope you can hear me. Let
Loud
me take
and
my
clear.
turn. Thank you, David. Let me take my turn to welcome all interested parties to join us in this SPADE second open call. My presentation is the follow-up of what we presented yesterday on the first challenge of third study on livestock. So today we're having a follow-up theme which focuses on acquiring and structuring livestock open field animal well-being / healthcare datasets for training the respective machine learning models to detect issues relating to well-being and healthcare. Let me just make a brief overall comment on that. Yesterday's thematic area was quite focused. As I mentioned yesterday, I suppose that yesterday's activity relates and resembles better an innovation implementation, where today's thematic area is also incorporating a research angle, perhaps more than the former thematic area. So that's a general comment. Let's go directly to what we need you to work on and what would be your interest and how you could achieve that and successfully submit a proposal for this theme. So the generic issues I will not repeat, the issues that have been already discussed and displayed by my colleagues and David and overall by SPADE. This open call then addresses the creation of annotated datasets for livestock disease detection using images and videos captured by drones. Datasets will serve as a crucial foundation for training ML models aimed at detecting diseases in livestock. The issue of well-being that has been already mentioned should be related to a disease. The process will involve clear disease identification, use of drone technology for capturing high-quality images and videos, Accurate annotation should be secured by experts, and the development of a diverse and high-quality data set that will enhance the effectiveness of AI-driven livestock health monitoring systems. That's the overall goal for this theme. If we go further into and dive in the implementation approaches, to implement the process of creating high-quality annotated datasets from drone-captured images and videos in a livestock farm, applicants should follow stages of securing access to livestock farm, data collection, pre-processing, annotation, structuring, and validation. Goals is to create data set or data sets, that's up to you, suitable for training a machine learning model for, or at least one machine learning model for livestock disease detection. Any, that's perhaps important to mention, any additional provision from your side regarding the number of datasets, the number of different models, the number of diseases detected, it's a plus and will be evaluated during the evaluation process of the call in a competing front across the different submitted proposals. Hardware, contractors will need to provide their own UAVs and cameras, whatever camera or sensor is necessary. We've seen the presentation from the cropping colleagues. It's similar. It's a similar case here. So any other sensors or hardware that you could estimate of being useful, it's up to you to use. Could be LiDAR, could be something on collars on animals, whatever you need to do that. It will be evaluated during the process of evaluation. The images that and videos that would be required as a minimum specification should be MP4 videos along with metadata. And for example, metadata should involve also timestamps, the location, or any other relevant contextual details such as weather and environmental conditions. Software, we will have to follow a meticulous collaboration during the first month of your activities, once you get the contract, where we will co-define together with you a design document with all necessary specifications for consistent user scenarios. The structure, storage, usability, and interoperability of datasets will need to be discussed. The size of the datasets will need to be a commitment reported during your submission of the proposal and will be taken as an evaluation criteria. Open source, I will not repeat all these issues that have been covered by more generic information days and by my colleagues in the other thematic areas. Completion criteria. Completion of this open call will be evaluated based on the successful user scenarios implementation that we will agree upon during the first month, as I mentioned. Secure collection, annotation, structuring, and preparation of a high-quality, accurately labeled dataset suitable for training ML models for livestock disease detection. Regarding accuracy, I think that it has been also mentioned and discussed by my colleagues. Usually in machine learning modeling, you run the validation and evaluation in a competitive way and manner. So if you commit to provide a solution that's below 80% accuracy, you will have specific ranking in the evaluation process. If you commit to provide accuracy above 95%, which I think is normal for contemporary machine learning models, you will, of course, have a high rank. The contractors need to commit to ensuring secure access to a livestock farm, integration with the SPADE livestock cloud platform, which is something you will be having access to, Where and when appropriate, permissions and protocols will need to be followed by the contractors for safe and authorized data collection within the farms that you will be selecting to cooperate. Datasets must be comprehensively organized, validated, structured for real-world application scenarios that will be agreed during design document development stage. During this stage, use cases will be defined to include selected machine learning models for testing training datasets. Contractors' responsibility is to provide the consistent training datasets and to fine-tune the selected machine learning models to reach an agreed during the design document development stage detection accuracy. Perhaps you will report to commit to a 95%, but during the design development stage, we will convince you that 95% is low and actually need to be at least 98%. So that's what I'm referring to here. Overall, reaching the completion criteria will be evaluated by ensuring that the acquired datasets can be used for training machine learning models to be selected during design document development stage, capable of assisting in livestock health monitoring and disease management with high-level accuracy. Completion will be evaluated based on the successful development and testing of a prototype that implements the above-mentioned agreed and or to be agreed levels, conditions, and user scenarios. The design document will be developed in agreement to the open call to supervisors and is mandatory. It's a mandatory step. Unless reached, the project cannot continue. So what we are saying here is that because this has a stronger research angle, the competition that is running will actually provide a solution contract that will have to be consolidated during the first month of the implementation. That's what we are saying here. Now, going to a generic scenario. This is just an example. Hardware software will be provided by you. A scenario could be the use of a quality UAV camera to video record at open grasslands and generate annotated footage stored in the SLP, the SPADE Livestock platform, and provide appropriate annotation environment on a land-based laptop service for livestock farmers to annotate animal health events relating to real footage, and provide a tool to consolidate consistent data sets, video and data and metadata, to train animal health issues detection using the appropriate machine learning models. This is an example of a scenario. You will need to provide something like that, of course, in more detailed level. That's the generic content, but we have a roadmap regarding the set of deliverables expected. Month one, as I already mentioned, that's the very crucial design development document. And in month three, which is crucial for the funding month for you, that's the month where we have to receive from you these three sets of deliverables. Once we receive them and we see that they are fit to expectations, then you will have 50% of funding. If you reach this milestone with a percentage of successfulness, then that percentage will also map to your first funding. And finally, on month 6, another set of 3 deliverables that would include the pre-processed data, the dataset documentation, and a final report. That's is going to flag a green light for the full-fledged funding received for your services in this contract. Again, the set of deliverables, initial report, data collection, annotated data set, interim report, pre-processed data, data set, documentation, final report. That's the obligations that you have for this contract. That's in brief. Thank you for your attentions. And let me again repeat some practical technical coordination steps that we are going to follow. On granting the contract, there will be technical meetings with ourselves, SPADE technical partners developing the livestock pilot. All work package and milestones and user scenarios and tools will be discussed. And in level of detail that implementation then will go smoothly. Software solutions need to be agreed by technical partners in written form. This should be the final design and development document, finalized by the end of the first month. Once we do that, then you can proceed. If we do not agree, if there is no sufficient consensus, and we will invest a lot in consensus during that time, then we may deny the progress of this contract and stop the project. This is something that we have also followed for the first open call. We did not stop the project then, but it could have been the case, but consensus was finally reached. Finally, during the whole contract duration, there can be bi-weekly technical meetings called upon either by your side or by SPADE. Apart from the contracted milestones, SPADE may request extra meetings or status presentations, including software beta versions for your modules that are nascent during the project. Now it's time for thanking you for your participation, and if there are any questions, not now, later on in written form, we're very welcome. They are very welcome, and we will try to answer them as accurate and consistent as possible. Back to you, David.
Thank you very much. Very much. Interesting presentation. So I'm checking for the questions. So we don't have any open questions, but let's wait 1 minute more just to be sure.
David,
Yes.
I would like to add one clarification for the last point that Kostas mentioned, that there should be a consensus of the KPIs we fulfilled and the work plan. This applies to all the challenges. So apart from the subcontract that you will have with Sploro, for that you are granted with your project and you are eligible to take this funding, we also require to sign this work plan requirements. So in that work plan, we will have all the KPIs that need to be followed, all the steps. Of course, we will make, as Kostas mentioned, we will have meetings with the applicants, the successful applicants. We will decide upon this. Of course, they will be based on the requirements that we have on the open call. It's not going to be something that we will come out from our minds at that point. Okay, and once we have this agreement, it will be signed by both sides, and then we will follow that plan that was signed in the beginning of the project. This is to have, clear implementation requirements and expectations from both sides.
I think Aristoteles, this will happen in the first month, no?
Yes, right. Well, we
Implementation.
will have the kickoff meetings with the partners, and then we will decide upon this, and we will move with the signatures before starting the project.
Okay, so let's wait. Maybe there are any other questions. Nothing so far, but let's wait 1 minute. So taking into consideration that there are no other questions and we finish our time, guys, we hope that we will receive many questions on our communication channels and we will receive a very good and strong proposal on our platform. So we encourage you, or I mean, all the partners are very active and we try to give you the best support. So do your best to apply for this open call. And I want to thank to all the partners for their
Sorry, David, for
presentation and their
interrupting.
time.
There is
Yes.
one question open by Dimitris Theodore.
All right.
Paulus.
Yes. So I will read this question for all of you, and please feel free to jump to answer to it. So probably we missed the case for geofencing. If I understand, this was described in a previous session. If there are no questions, can we ask two questions about the geofencing? I don't think we have the proper partners here.
It's Costas. Costas is here for the
Ah,
geofencing
all right.
for livestock, right?
All right. So yeah, please feel free to insert your questions here.
And also, please keep in mind, we have the Q&A on the website. All the questions that you addressed via email or our newsletter, all the communication channels that you have for us, we will post the questions on the Q&A and the relevant answers. So we will not provide individual answers only to the person that sets the question. We will have everything visible on the Q&A webpage. So everyone will be able to view the questions and the answers to each question.
Yes, so actually, the applicants put a very interesting question. So, the drones will be provided by the SPADE, or they need to buy it, or things like this?
Okay, I will try to share my screen from the presentation I made yesterday.
Yes, would be amazing.
Yeah. Right, so let me go to these scenarios. A generic statement for this first use case in the livestock case studies. What we mentioned is that it's a quite focused implementation, innovation implementation action. We have a specific UAV, which is a SPADE UAV. SPADE purchased a commercial UAV for that. It is the Parrot Anafi USA, and this is the UAV that will be used for the development and testing of the solutions. A full-fledged SDK and simulator, the Sphinx simulator, is provided. So you will be doing everything using the simulator, which is very accurate in having a twinning of the real environment. When we reach a case that you have matured your solution or scenarios, then it will be arranged that you will be invited in a boot camp in Thessaloniki to actually relate your ecosystem with the physical device. So this is the scenario that we have in mind, and I hope that this answers your question.
So just to clarify it, the drones will be somehow provided by SPADE, no? After they have everything complete.
The drones will not be provided. It will be a solution within a boot camp, so they will not receive any drones from SPADE in their own premises. SPADE will provide the simulator and the SDK, which is open and accessible by everyone, in fact. And up to the point that we will have to go to a real test environment, everything will be monitored from the simulator and the applications on utilizing the SDK, the Parrot SDK. Once everything is mature and we know when that is reached, when matureness is reached, then we will organize a boot camp that will take place in Greece, in Thessaloniki. We will go to a real field and we will evaluate the solution with the real device.
Thank you, Kostas. And the other question, if animal collar transceivers will be provided by SPADE?
know everything up to the point where we go to real field for evaluation will be your own responsibility to have farm available, livestock available. That's up to you. You will have to do everything yourselves. In fact, if you simulate livestock, perhaps that's something you could do, but then you will miss the actual probably evaluation stage where accuracy will not be that high. So when you report your plan and the work plan that you will be following during the submission stage, you have to be specific whether you do have access to a livestock farm or not. Because access during the development of your solutions, I think, has a very heavy percentage in weighing in and evaluating the proposals. Yeah. That was my answer.
Thank you very much. And yes, I think we don't have any other questions. Anyhow, for the applicants, we have the communication channels, and please ask there as well. So thank you to all of you for attending this info day. And of course, thank you to the partners.